Conclusion to their series in Florida last week. Will there be more extracurricular activity, or will cooler heads prevail?
It's a great day for baseball.
Special night at the ballpark, Hispanic Heritage Night. The Nats and all their native countries and flags on full display as we open up a weekend series after a day off. It's the Marlins and the Nats. Bob Carpenter and Ray Knight, welcome to the ballpark. Florida dominates the season series again, 10-5. And if anybody can do anything about that, Ray, it might be John Lannon, the way he's going lately, as well as anybody around here.
Well, he's throwing the ball the way he did in 08 and 09. A lot of strikes, mixing up his pitches. The breaking ball has become a big weapon for him. 5 of his last 6 starts, a 264 run average, and doing all the research that I do, he's been able to throw 67% strikes doing all of these starts. John has just been exceptional. You look at the August 29th start, he started blowing his breaking ball so exceptionally well in that game, and then that got everybody off of his fastball. Jam right there for a double play. Nobody's hit his fastball hard in really the last 3 weeks. 7 2/3 inning, 1 run, no walks, and has just been fantastic.
Then he goes to Pittsburgh and dominates the Pirates as well. Didn't matter, right-handers, left-handers. That's a ball game where he racked up lots of strikeouts.
Yeah, because he's throwing the changeup. He got to the changeup after getting the feel for the curveball. The fastball locating in and out with a really lot of sink down and away from the right-hand hitters, and then the changeup became devastating.
You don't expect any nonsense on the field tonight, do you?
I really don't. I think that's behind everybody. I think it got cleaned up in that ball game. I know their manager says it's not over, but after he thought about it, I think cooler heads will prevail.
All right, and the Nats will face a young pitcher they're seeing for the 3rd time this year. In fact, one of those times was pretty nice. Adam Dunn, August 30th, 2 for 4, a homer and 4 RBIs. That was his 33rd home run in that ball game. Ryan Zimmerman, 2 for 4. That was his 25th, and the Nats won it 9-3. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Hager, established 1926. Your own great moment starts at Hager.com. Beautiful night at the ballpark. Some clouds overhead, but some clear skies mixed in.
The Nats and the Marlins meeting for the 16th time this year. And Florida continues to dominate Washington. The Nats need to do some damage this weekend. Good-looking rookie Logan Morrison batting second, hitting .318. Now, Gabby Sanchez was in the original lineup today, but then he will start his 3-game suspension tonight. So he's out. That moved Wes Helms up. It put Emilio Bonifacio in the lineup. And the Marlins are 8th in the league in hitting. They're 6th in runs. And they're in the top 7 or 8 in home runs. John Lannon, 22nd start. Looking to go 2 games over 500 on the year. In his career, he's 27-36. And in 5 starts, 2-2 against the Marlins.
PNC Bank scouting report that shows you the keys to John Lannon's achieving success. Now he's streaking. Won 5 of his last 6. In that time, 293 earned run average. He's going deep. That means he's been able to get deep into the game, at least 18 outs, 6+ innings, his last 7 starts or more. In command, only 3 base on balls, Bob, in his last 5 starts. Not more than 1 per start. He has been back to the John Lannon that really was the first of a line of many good young pitchers.
And lest we forget, John Lannon is still only 25 years old. Here's Roger Bernardina in left, Niger Morgan in right, in center, and then Michael Morse in right. Desmond Espinosa up the middle, Zimmerman, Dunn, and Rodriguez the interior defense. Niger in the lineup until Major League Baseball makes a decision on him. The hearing was today. Third-year veteran James Hoy has the plate. Laz Diaz, Wally Bell, and crew chief John Hirschbeck on the bases. Ready for the first pitch. Emilio Bonifacio, the former Nat, steps in. Right-handed, only 28 at-bats this year, 11 hits. He might be the quickest player in the league from home to first base when the ball's on the ground. And he foul tips the bunt. We're underway, Ryan, a couple of minutes late at 7:07. Partly cloudy skies, 72 degrees on a beautiful September evening. Day game tomorrow, day game Sunday. Marlins have won 4 of the first 6 in this ballpark between these two clubs, and there's a swing and a foul. In fact, going back to 2005 against Florida, the Nationals are 18 games under 500, 53-35. The Marlins against the Nats. And right now, Florida has 70 wins. The Nationals have 60. This series pretty much the difference. Phillies are in New York tonight. The Braves are home hosting St. Louis. Lannon with a hard one up and in.
Good spot.
Nice 0-2 pitch, isn't it?
And that's something that we didn't mention in the open. Beside his curveball, his changeup and fastball all becoming very effective. He's begun to throw inside, and that's made him that much more effective.
And a breaking ball hit to Zimmerman, deflected by Desmond. Base hit all the way for Bonifacio. And I have a feeling that even had Ryan Zimmerman popped up with that ball, Emilio would have been safe at first anyway. He is almost impossible to throw out unless he hits a ground ball right at somebody.
Yeah, very tough play. A lot of these plays we've had just about 3 or 4 steps to the left of the third baseman in that 5.5 hole that Tony Gwynn made famous, and he does deflect it behind Desmond. Really, I agree with you, Bob. No chance to throw him out there unless he gets up and guns it overhanded.
Time given as Logan Morrison steps in. Well, the Marlins probably figuring if this guy hadn't shown up so late, he might be their latest Rookie of the Year candidate. 39 games, hitting .318 with 13 RBIs. They love his toughness, his work ethic.
Yeah, all around the ballpark, the Marlins people came up to us. Look at his eye right there. He got hit by a foul ball by Bonifacio.
While he was in the on-deck circle, less than 50 feet away.
They told him he couldn't make the trip. He goes and sees the doctor the day of the road trip. Frees him up to go. Drives his car to the airport. And actually gets on the charter late. doubleheader the next day, and he tells the skipper he wants to play, and he says, no way, and he says, put me in the lineup and play the doubleheader. So that's tough.
Yeah, he said, I didn't drive to the airport to watch these games. You got to love a kid like that. Grew up in the Kansas City area, lives in Louisiana now. He went to the same junior college, Maple Woods, as Albert Pujols. And a great story that we told while the Nats were down in Florida playing these guys. His dad was a football player at the University of Kansas, didn't know anything about baseball, so he went to the library and checked out Charlie Lau's The Art of Hitting book.
Isn't that something?
Hats off to Dad. He had to go to Plan B. Bonifacio was actually moving back to the bag. John Lannon, good move to freeze him, then a good pitch to get strike two. But I mean, what I said a moment ago, let's not forget, John Lannon doesn't turn 26 for 17 more days. I mean, sometimes we talk about him like he's a 28 to 29-year-old guy who's been around forever. John is still at an age, Ray, when many young pitchers still haven't even come close to figuring things out.
Oh, no doubt about it, Bob. And he's gone through the ups and downs. He's pitched so well his first 2 years. Just reading over the notes, 40 quality starts, which was tied with Josh Beckett for the most quality starts from any starter in any league, over 30 starts.
Swing and a miss. And Pudge's throw is off to the right side. Rodriguez double pumped. Lannon strikes out Morrison, and Bonifacio steals his 7th base without being caught.
Just never had a grip of this ball, Pudge. He tries to re-grip it, throws it there, and like you said, once that happens, he has no chance. But great pitch. John Lannon, that running fastball down and in. But getting back to what you're saying, Bob, no question about it. I mean, this kid won 9 games, 2 years in a row, and had the first year the worst run support, or at least in top 5 least runs scored for him. And then the next year in 2009, very similar, same thing. But yet, during all that time where he was pitching what I always call under stress, he was still able to do the job and pitch quality, get into the 6th inning. You know the quality start is 6 innings with 3 earned runs or less. And to have the earned run average less than 4, 2 years in a row, and then to really struggle this year for about 4 or 5 starts there in the middle in June when he got sent down, and to come back up and pitch so well, that shows you how tough he is mentally. And he's still the foundation of this starting rotation, although you've got the great arms around him. He's a guy that goes out there every day and does a job.
Well, if the Marlins hurt the Nats, this guy in the batter's box is the killer whale of the group. Hanley Ramirez, Nat killer. First base open.
Yeah.
A first inning walk here would not be the worst thing in the world.
No, I'm for it right now. 3-0. 3-0, I'm kind of pulling for it now.
I'm right there with it. Edwin Gonzalez probably gives him the green light right here if he sees a fastball, because he's a guy used to hitting first inning home runs. Nothing even close. He's aboard, and the Nats will take their chance with Dan Uggla.
And I got no problem with that. Just sets up that situation again, which great pitchers do. They make one pitch and get a double play ball, and Uggla is one of those guys. If you keep the ball down and away from Dan Uggla, he's not going to hurt you. He proved again and again, and then against Steven, how he can hit that fastball inside anybody's fastball. So I like this matchup for John Lannon because he can get him to chase that sinker down and away and hit ground ball to shortstop. Pulls the ball, shortstop in the hole, second baseman toward second.
That's a liner to left center that'll score a run. Uggla's another Marlin who constantly hurts the Nats. That'll be his 89th RBI. Hanley Ramirez goes all the way over to third base after Bonifacio scored. And the Marlins, who always hit the Nats hard, it seems, especially in this ballpark, have jumped on top again.
Well, look at the location. He wants to go away, but he gets it away and up. That's Away is one thing, but you can't put it up there thigh high because that just sits there for you. First ball hitters. A lot of first ball, fastball hitters in this ball club.
Wes Helms goes up hacking. That'll move Michael Morse way over to his right. He grabs it. It'll be a sac fly, and just like that, it's 2-0. Wes Helms, an experienced guy, smelling an RBI, lifting the ball down the line. That'll be his 33rd RBI.
That happened quick, didn't it? Didn't that happen quick?
Well, this is better than going 3-2 on everybody, but you talked about the aggressiveness of these Marlins.
Well, he goes a long way for that ball. I thought it was going to twist away from him there for a second, but he's able to make it full tilt as he was playing Wes Helms around to right center field. You know, if you're going to give up 2 runs a game, give them up in the first inning and settle down from that point on. John has been one of those guys that has not fallen into that pattern throughout his career. He's been decent in the first inning. He's got to get that pitch right there, the fastball on the inside part.
Including the 2 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's
first inning, not that bad this year.
That's good. That's good.
Mike Stanton swinging the bat well. 4-game hitting streak for the rookie. 7 for his last 17. A true specimen in his first year in the big leagues. Mike Stanton listed at 6'5", 233. He was offered a football scholarship to USC. Right off the end of the bat and a pop-up short right field. That's going to be unreachable. Morse has to get it back in quickly. 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. He's a big power hitter that you have to play deep. No way for Espinosa to get there. We know how quick he is.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He almost got there, and you're talking about a full sprint. From the infield to where he ended up is a good 50 yards, and he's playing towards second base. You look how far this kid goes. He's going. He went farther than Michael Morris on that ball, no question, and almost comes up with a catch. This would have been a play of the year right there, and he gets within about a foot of making that play. What great hustle from the kid. I like that, Bob.
That's amazing range.
Golly, that's a lot of range.
That'll bring up the 7th man to bat in the inning, Cameron Maben. Now, this is where John Lennon has to shut the door. 2 runs is okay. You don't want to give up 4 in the first inning. Maben hitting just .239, but he's on a 5-game streak. And John gets a tailing fastball for the strike.
Yeah, that's a good point, Bob, because even on your best day, you're going to go out there and give up 2 runs somewhere in your 6 or 7 innings work. And that's enough that your team can do something about it. I mean, you hold him to that. Now he has really his benchmark set. Give up 2 runs here, shut him out the rest of the way, and get a win as the Nationals have swung the bat really well this month.
That was a really good diving pitch. Not a straight chain, too hard to be that.
Yeah.
It was 87.
That was his sinker, and he got on top of it really well and got that great movement. You see him, he's going right down the baseball with it. Down seam on the short seam side of the ball. He's gripped it as a changeup, but he always does that because he doesn't want people to see him go in there and dig for that changeup.
Interesting pitch. Looked like it was very close. And the count's 2-2.
22 total. 12 strikes, 10 balls. We'll get into it in a little while. His strike-to-ball ratio as related to his victories.
That's going to ring him up. Inside corner, Lannon runs in the fastball. gets a couple of strikeouts, but the Marlins swinging the bat well, getting 2. With the Marlins and the Phillies coming in. Because Niger Morgan's about to be suspended, Jim Riggleman wants Danny Espinosa in front of Ian Desmond to get his feet wet as a leadoff man. Desmond, one of the best hitters in all of baseball since the All-Star break. Hitting .375 his last 38 games and nearly .340 since the break. Niger down in the number 8 spot tonight. Good point, though. Good foresight by Jim and John McLaren. Not taking the kid, just throwing him into the leadoff spot in the next day or two when Niger starts serving his suspension. So here's Espinosa as a big leaguer. He's 9 for 22. From the left side, 6 for 15. Batting mark of .409. There's that good changeup of Sanabria. Ray will give you the scouting report in a moment. And that off-speed pitch is a big part of his game.
Well, Bob, he has been basically a two-pitch pitcher, with the changeup being by far his best pitch. Shows the fastball, but they've committed him to throwing more sliders. He's pretty much pitched his whole minor league career with the fastball changeup. His last start against Atlanta, and that is not really telling how well he pitched. He had only given up 3 hits, 1 run. There was a rain delay of 45 minutes. He comes back, a couple broken bad hits.
Espinosa will lift one to the right side of the infield for Wes Helms. Runner goes flashing by for the first out.
PNC Bank Scouting Report is brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in us all. Terror in the minor leagues. Yeah, he was 5-1 in AA this year before he got called up. A total of 25 victories and only 17 losses in the minor leagues. He's a guy that has been able to pitch extremely well to the third time around in the batting order. This is his third start also against the Nationals, where he's given up 4 earned runs and 3.27 innings, a 1-1 record. Rubber match, the 1-1 record, trying to even it up. 7 hits in the loss with 4 runs, 5 2/3, and the win just 4 hits, no runs, going 5 1/3 all the way back on July the 18th.
And I'm sure he did not want to hit Ian Desmond with an inside fastball right after getting a quick out.
Well, this is his fastball, and it gets way away from him, up and in. And everybody I know at home gasps and says, okay, are they hitting our people? Nah.
5th time Desmond's been hit this year. Nationals have a lot of guys hit, 52 of them on the year. And Desmond dancing around at first. That one's way inside to Ryan Zimmerman. Ryan checks in at 298. 25 homers, 82 RBIs. His 296 career average against Florida, right about where he's hitting this year. Seems like he hits higher than that in their ballpark.
Outstanding control for this young pitcher. He's now thrown 8 pitches, not one breaking ball. 6 fastballs, 2 changeups.
Desmond back easily. He has stolen 14 in 18 attempts. In fact, there's a rookie stolen base race going on the ball club. Desmond and Bernardina tied with 14. There's the breaking ball for the first time. He missed away with it, not by much.
Not a bad one either. Ball had pretty good bite. Not the sharpest one I've ever seen, but it started in the right place, just below the knees, and worked to the ground.
Well, this is a 32nd round draft pick, Sanabia. So more than 900 players were drafted 4 years ago before him. 3-1.
Now I'm in between there. That's 85. I don't think it's the changeup, but it's got such downward movement. His fastball's 90-91, so that's kind of in between. His changeup's usually 81. That may be just a pitch that he tries to turn over and get more sink to.
With the runner on the move, it's ball 4. So without hitting the ball, the Nats have the tying runs on base immediately. With Adam Dunn coming up, the Marlins, they're in the bottom 3 in the league like the Nats and the Cubs are. Ramirez and Uggla combining for 31 errors up the middle. Their outfield's pretty fast. Morrison, Maben, and Stanton. Bonifacio across from Helms, and Brad Davis is the catcher. There's Wes Helms. He can play first or third. Get a big hit for you, driving a run with a fly ball like he's already done tonight. Here's Adam Dunn, who's hit .412 over his last 10 games. First pitch off speed, missing.
After having 4 real solid starts against Colorado, Pittsburgh, New York, and then the start against the Nationals, the last 2 starts he's given up 6 and 7 hits. So he hasn't given up a lot of hits, Bob. Just 4, 5, 4, 4, 7, and 6 his last 6 outings. So
well, let's see what his walks are over that time, right? Because he's gone to nibbling here. He really hasn't walked anybody of note in his last 4 starts, only walking 3 hitters.
Right.
So this is unusual for him tonight. And that was after his return from AAA New Orleans. He started at San Francisco July 28th, then went down and started a couple of games on the road at Columbus and Salt Lake City, then back to the big leagues under the watchful eye of Randy St. Clair for his last 4 games. Now he goes and misses with the fastball, 3-0.
Well, as with all control pitchers, they've got to throw to the corners, and if they're not hitting that, they're going to put a lot of people on base.
Dunn was pumping on 3-0, but he flies out to medium center field, and Desmond thinking about tagging. He'll come back now, and they threw in behind him, and he just got back.
Yeah, there's really no reason to even fake that. But that pitch, that's Adams' bread and butter there. I don't know. Here's the play at second. Is he?
Oops.
Nice job. Nice job by Maben. He knows that he's not going to tag up and go to third there. Gets back in there. Good aggressive play. Just a little bit of waste of energy. But I go back to the pitch that he threw at him 2-0. That is a ball that he should have hit 450 feet. Well, just check it. I mean, it's right down the middle, maybe a little bit in, but that is the pitch that, 5 out of 10 times he's going to lose, and he knows it. I mean, that is a mistake pitch with the hitter ahead in the count.
Well, that was a 3-0. I'll throw it down the middle. Now he goes 2-0 on Bernardina. Roger steps in, hitting .288 at home, .262 overall.
Boy,
Speed at second base with Desmond. Zimmerman behind him.
You don't have a lot of pitches like that over the course of the season.
Bernardino's going to pop it up. Well, the Nats will hit all 3 of their outs in the air, 2 of them on the infield, and a frustrating 2 runners stranded. We've got some outstanding Latino talent on display tonight. UNA. Now, Ray, sometimes we are reluctant to compare youngsters to established veterans, but these are 2 shortstops homegrown by this organization. Ian actually drafted when the team was in Montreal, like Orlando Cabrera.
Well, I hope that Ian can stay in this league as long as Orlando Cabrera and make that kind of contribution to ball clubs. And I don't see any reason why he can't. He's probably going to hit for about the same average, although Orlando later on in his career became, a 310, 320 hitter over those 2 or 3 years.
Out to left for Bernardino. Roger right there. His 3rd major league at bat. He had doubled a run in before this. And then on September 10th, it was a Thursday night last year, 5th inning, bang.
Hanging breaking ball.
That was against Joe Blanton.
And at that point, there wasn't but 3 or 4 balls that had been hitting this ballpark that went that far. That was in left central, right up under the red porch, and it cleared the first 15 rows at the bottom section of that area.
That was a 3-run homer. He drove in 4 runs that night, and it was a franchise record for debut RBIs, breaking the record of the one and only Coco LeBoy from 1969. Lannon going right after Sanabia here, the rookie pitcher as a hitter, 0 for 13. Couple of sacrifice bunts on his ledger. Speedy Bonifacio next. He'll get punched out. John Lannon strikes out 3 of the first 5 men he retires.
He's throwing the ball well. He's throwing the ball well. The 1 pitch to Ugla. His pitch, he gave him a little bit, talking about being a little free with the strike zone, but he certainly expanded it there.
I've noticed James Hoy has been generous to both pitchers out there against right-handed batters. Here's Bonifacio, who singled hard off the glove of Zimmerman first time. This guy doesn't play a whole lot. He spent most of the year in the minor leagues. But he's hitting .304. Every time they have to scratch somebody and put him in the leadoff spot instead of Cameron Maybin, he ends up hurting the Nats. He's 2 for 2, and he might be running here with 2 outs. Why wouldn't he? Logan Morrison struck out swinging while Bonifacio was stealing last inning.
I think he's throwing over right here. The catcher gives signs, and usually when he splits his fingers, that's a throw over, and that's what he did. And that comes from Riggleman. There are 5 directives: throw over, hold, step off, pitch out, and slide step. Slide step right there.
And Bonifacio had a big lead.
He had no way to get a jump on that slide step, though.
Tariq Brock, first base coach over there for the Marlins.
Let's see what he does right here.
He's got 1 foot just beyond the cut
Change
of that
up.
grass. Now his back foot is out there.
Yeah, he's not going to throw over there, though. See, it's amazing how few times pitchers throw to first base unless they're directed to by their manager. As John gets older, he should learn to control that running game and give him a weak move and then a little better move and then give him his best move, maybe pick him off, but certainly make him look. He's got a huge lead.
Then he was actually backtracking. That was a 2-0 changeup in there. On the second pitch, he had his left foot, his back foot, out to the cut of that grass. Let's see how far he goes here.
He's leaning. He's leaning. Didn't go.
And out to short it goes for Desmond. On to Dunn. Second inning over, at least for the Marlins. Morse coming up. Beautiful night on the Potomac. Watergate and the Kennedy Center right next to each other. Season tickets for next year. You get 2 free, plus the rest of this season absolutely free. Go to nationals.com/2011-2011 for more information. Michael Morse, Ivan Rodriguez, and Niger Morgan for the Nats. Bottom of the second.
One breaking ball out of 20 pitches, so he's doing all this with his fastball, about 75%, 25% changeups.
First place Phillies have 2 early runs in the second at New York. Pudge is next, hitting .270. And Michael will foul that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Interesting game in Atlanta tonight. Michael Minor, the Braves rookie, taking on Chris Carpenter and St. Louis, while the Reds, who've lost 5 in a row, are hosting the Pirates this weekend. Morse hits it hard on a hop to Hanley Ramirez. Nats still without a base hit. They've had 2 runners, and Pudge will be next.
It's been a month, the month of August, of streaks, hasn't it? I mean, whether it be losing streaks or winning streaks, the Giants, the Padres, both went through big losing streaks. Colorado, a big winning streak. The Braves, a big losing streak. The Cardinals, a big losing streak. Reds won a lot. Now it's kind of flip-flopping.
Right down the middle of Pudge. Doesn't want the young pitcher to get into too much of a rhythm here. And he'll lay off the high fastball, 1-1.
I've seen anything from 81 to 93 and almost the same type movement. The softer he throws it, the better it moves downward. There's a breaking ball. That's 2 out of 26. Neither one of them a strike, so just eliminate the breaking ball.
And Rodriguez hits the ball well to right. Back there it's Mike Stanton for the second out. Well, not many thought Nyjer Morgan would still be eligible to play tonight. What happened in Florida when he separated the shoulder of catcher Brett Hayes, out on that ball, took one on the hip the next night, went down to first base, stole second and third within 3 pitches after that, and then Chris Volstad for the second time throwing at him, missing that time. And, of course, the Donnybrook ensued and all the suspensions attached to that.
I think the league's been rather slow in delving out these suspensions, though.
That's a week and a half ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that they need to address right away.
Well, you know, Ray, this is nothing unusual for sports. Evidently, the NCAA just realized Reggie Bush did something wrong 5 years ago. So, you know, these wheels of justice turn very slowly for some reason.
You're killing me, Bob.
5 years.
No. Yeah. Well, I guess they want to get it right. I mean, there's no doubt. Nyjer already under some scrutiny for the ball incident in Philadelphia. That's
that second shot landed by Gabby Sanchez is why he's not playing this weekend. And Morgan will foul it over by the dugout, unplayable. It hits on the entryway that goes right up to the umpire's room and then bounces up into the seats. Well, Morgan hitting .256 with an on-base percentage of .316.
All of that used to be a big part of baseball. The brawls. I mean, I've seen guys that just were having bad weeks, you know, drill somebody for no reason and fights break out. It's just not tolerated today.
And Morgan will reach out and get the Nats' first base hit of the night. He'll make a big round to the bag and be there with 2 outs. Now, this is one situation where you may not want him running because you don't want the pitcher to lead off the 3rd inning if he's thrown out.
Well, that's a nice stroke. I mean, that ball's on the outside part of the plate, the black, if you will, right on the edge of the plate, and he hit it right back up the middle with some authority.
Well, he's not wasting any time. He's out. And that's the risk you run.
Well, I agree with you, Bob.
Because now John Lannon and not Espinosa or Desmond will be the leadoff hitter in the 3rd, down by 2 runs.
inning, and we're going to go right here to Nigel Morgan. Bob just mentioned you're 2 outs, pitcher up. You want to make sure you get through the order, and he's still second base and he's out. That is just not a smart baseball play. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're thinking. It's just not a smart baseball play. You don't run yourself into outs when you have the pitcher up there. Now he's going to have to lead off the next inning, and most probably that will give you 1 out. You always want the clean inning to start off with. So, somebody needs to set Niger down and tell him, or just put the hold on him when he's in running situations like that.
Agreed. Not good baseball. Hanley Ramirez leads off the top of the third. He walked and scored with 1 out back in the first. Yeah, I know it took a perfect throw by Brad Davis to get him, but Davis put it right on his left shoulder. And a good throw by a catcher who previously had only thrown out 2 out of 12.
Well, as I told a lady the other night that was making comments about our broadcast, Bob, that, yeah, go ahead and run if you know you're safe. I mean, that's the problem with it. You're not always going to be safe. Niger running at about 65% as far as his success rate.
And you want your main guy rate to be at least 80.
At least 80. At least 80. But it's not, it hasn't been one time. I mean, Niger's been picked off 7 or 8 times. And the ball club is very aware of that, and they've talked about it, and they've discussed it. And, and they don't want to shut him down because they do believe that he can be one of those base stealers that can steal 40 or 50 bases. But it's not the number of bases you steal. I mean, you may steal 50 bases and only 10 of them mean something. You got to steal bases when they amount to something, when it means, the decisive run in the game, or a go-ahead run, a tack-on run, just to steal. I mean, there's nothing in that. I've never liked it. There's been a lot of players in this game that have padded their numbers by doing that. Mm-hmm. And I mention Joe Morgan often because I had so much respect for him, because he could have stolen 100 bases easily. And he would steal 45, 50 a year, but every one of them was, with 2 outs, or when you're down 1-0 or 5-4.
And I guarantee you sometimes when Joe didn't steal, he still ended up going to third on a base hit or home on a double because he knew the quality hitters he had behind him. But that's a great point that you made months ago, Ray, about guys knowing when to steal and when to put the hold on. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hanley Ramirez, leading off the third. And John misses low. Landon goes to 2-2.
And I can sit up here and tell you through experience, you can give the hold sign. And a lot of times a hold sign is just like handcuffs on your wrist, where you take one of your hands and you go and you cuff your left wrist, or even just the choke, where you put your hand to your neck and say, don't go, and people will look right through it. I mean, guys will not even see it because they're so intent on running or what their mindset is. So it's not necessarily the coach's fault there, because a lot of times you'll give that sign and it just will not be received or seen.
Well played by Zimmerman, who makes that play look easy. Dan Uggla will be next. He got the first Marlins RBI on a drive to left center with runners at first and second in the first inning.
Interesting note about John Lannon, Bob. In the games that he's had his quality starts, he's thrown 65% strikes. In the others that he hasn't had, he's thrown 57% strikes. But in the one game that he had where he threw the most strikes is when he got hit the hardest. He threw 75% strikes against the White Sox back on June the 20th and gave up 11 hits. So with a guy that is a field pitcher that throws by touch, I've always been willing to accept 60%, 65% strikes, because he's constantly nibbling for that corner. And guys that are power pitchers and miss a lot of bats, you want them to throw 68 to 72% strikes. So John's looking at trying to throw about 65% strikes to be effective.
3-0 pitch in there to Ugla. Dan Ugla now has broken into the top 10 in the league with 89 RBIs. John not even close. A 1-out walk. That'll be his second walk, with Helms coming up. This portion of our ball game tonight brought to you by Bank of America. Top of the third inning, 1 on, 1 out. Marlins already lead 2-0. They've out-hit the Nationals 4-1. Wes Helms, first pitch, hit a sac fly down the right field line first time up. On a good play by Michael Morse, who had to go a long way to run it down. You saw Pudge after that pitch urging Lannon to get the ball down. That big guy gets those legs moving. He's got some range out there and a strong arm. Three pitches first inning, 12 in the second. Number 15 this inning coming.
He's okay. He's still right in that 15, 16 pitch range. And as of right now, he's right at 62% strike. So I don't want to get caught all up in numbers, but it is a part to me as I evaluate pitching. I do look at those numbers, and he's right where he needs to be. Ooh. Nice pitch. Nice pitch anyway. Just the fact that he goes inside there, scratching his head like, well, where was that pitch? It's probably going to end up a little inside. Way inside, actually. Sometimes that ball that cuts across the plate, that's almost like a cutter, but it's a fastball that just bores inside. Looks as if it slices apart. Same pitch. Looks like it slices the front part of that plate. That's a real good eye to take that pitch. It is hard to lay off of that pitch right there.
3-2 with 1 out. We'll see if they do something with the runner Ugla here. Helms a pretty good contact guy, but the runner's holding, and John Lannon didn't come really very close on any of those last 3 pitches. So he's walked 3 on the night, 2 in this inning, and he'll face Mike Stanton, who glooped a double to right field first time. Pudge has visited John, and now the pitching coach will come out as well. The Pirates just got a home run in the top of the third inning at Cincinnati against Homer Bailey by Chris Snyder, and they lead 1-0. Let's have a look at our league leaders from Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia. 5 wins or more and a sub-3 ERA since the 1st of August. And look at the company John Lannon's in. 2 Phillies. And then young Mr. Hudson from Arizona, who they got in that deal for Edwin Jackson, and he's really paid off for them. Action-packed table games, red-hot slots await. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races. John having a hard time with his release point right now.
More away
ball
than
really
in.
moving on him tonight.
Yeah, more away than in, Bob. The balls away have missed, 3 or 4 balls off the plate. The balls in have just been a ball off the plate, just barely missing inside.
Another 2-0. Well, John's working from the extreme third base side of the pitching rubber. I'm looking at his landing area where the dark dirt is at the bottom of the mound. And it's right in line from the center of the rubber to home plate. So he's kind of stepping a little bit to the first base side to that landing area. Desmond Espinosa How about those kids going around the horn for a long 6-4-3 double play? It's the pitcher's best friend, along with a couple of guys behind you who can turn it, and those two can.
Third inning. Now, Danny Espinosa is due up this inning. He was put in the leadoff spot today by Jim Riggleman, and it's somewhere that he's comfortable.
I usually hit first or second, and I just would treat it the same and see my pitches and get comfortable in the box. If I get on base and I'm given an opportunity to steal, or it's there, I'll do it, but I don't feel like I need to try to slap the ball and run or try to get out of my game.
Jim Riggleman said, too, that he feels that Danny's got the skills to lead off, and he said that he doesn't think he'll be overwhelmed there. And Danny said that it's a position that he definitely enjoyed in the minor league, so we'll see how he does tonight. Bob?
He alternated defensively between second base and shortstop every other day. He's next after John Lannon, and John will take an 0-2 pitch outside. Bottom of the third underway.
Well, he has the one thing that you must have the lead off unless you're a Pete Rose, and that's above average speed. He showed in the minor leagues that he can steal bases, and I don't know how that's going to translate to big league stolen bases.
1-2 to John. A little tardy, but staying alive. In fact, way tardy. That's okay. And a 1-2 again. Fastball up.
You know what I like when I look at the lineup with Espinosa and Desmond at the top is the fact that both of them can drive the ball to the gaps. And they're extra base, line drive, doubles type hitters. So they don't necessarily have to steal bases because they have a high percentage of extra base hits.
Well, if John Lannon was going to strike out, you wanted that to happen last inning. He's the leadoff man here in the third at Nationals Park. The Nats and the Marlins, 2-0 Florida. Bob Carpenter, Ray Knight, Debbie Taylor, Masson, HD for the weekend. Danny Espinosa popped up to the first baseman his first time up. And suddenly, Danny Espinosa is 0 for his last 7. Third rounder in 08 out of Long Beach State. And that's up and away. Foul tip out of the glove of Brad Davis, and he stays alive. Jason Marquis tomorrow against Anibal Sanchez. The soon-to-be suspended Chris Volstad against Jordan Zimmerman on Sunday. Volstad, for the time being, still active. And Espinoza pops up again, hopes it gets out of play. Over by the dugout, it's reachable for Bonifacio. 2 outs. Ask about the Nats at MassonSports.com. Michelle Chadwick of Columbia would like to know if Espinoza and Desmond could be the Nats' top 2 hitters of the future, Ray, at the top of that lineup.
Well, they certainly could. It's all a matter of being able to go deep in the count as a 1 and 2 hole hitter. And Danny, in his interview with Debbie, said that he wasn't going to go up and slap the ball around. I think right there, when he took that 0-1 pitch, that was a good pitch to hit. And I think that if he'd have been hitting down in the order, he probably would have hit that ball. But I think he's probably adjusting and trying to do what other people would want him to do, or what at least he perceives them wanting him to do, and that's to take a lot of pitches and get on base. And that's not what you have to do. But speed-wise, ability-wise, knowing how to run the bases, yeah, that could happen.
And a little soft one-hopper out to Hanley Ramirez. Right now, Alex Sanabia looking good. Only 1 hit given up through 3. He leads by 2. That under 4 ERA a couple of times by giving up a lot of runs early in ball games.
No, you don't. And you don't do it by giving up big base hits as he did to Ugla. But he's settled down, throwing the ball well, throwing the breaking ball. Not as much as he should be, I think, but he's going with the fastball changeup. And his pattern in the past 5 or 6 starts has been going to the breaking ball, Bob, later in the 4th, 5th, 6th inning. So I expect to see him to throw more breaking balls this inning as opposed to just the fastball and the changeup.
Maben went up attempting to bunt. No swing on the appeal, says Laz Diaz down at first base. Maben, Davis, and Sanabia. 7, 8, and 9 for the Marlins. The catcher, the stretcher. Fastball up and in, 2-1.
Hasn't been able to throw that pitch for a strike all night long, and if there has been a bread and butter pitch for him in this streak that he's pitched so well, it's been the fastball inside for a strike. Because these hitters are looking so hard away to try to compensate for that movement on the fastball and changeup right there.
Two-hopper to Desmond. Got his feet set, sails the throw, and then Adam Dunn makes the tag. It helps to have a 6'6" first baseman.
It does. Ian does everything right here. He comes, he waits on the ball. We've talked about how he stays. Golly, that ball sailed, didn't it? He might have tried to throw that ball a little hard as he was not moving toward the ball at all to receive it. I mentioned that about Espinosa, how he's one of those fielders that moves toward the ball and takes up ground.
Desmond will take charge on the pop-up by Davis. 2 quick outs. That'll bring up the pitcher. We have a Sunday Family Fun Pack Day coming up. Marlins and the Fish. Well, they are the Fish. We'll take on the Nats Sunday. For $14, a seed, hot dog, chips, and a soda. Visit nationals.com/kids to purchase your Family Fun Pack tickets for Sunday. Jordan Zimmerman for the Nats. Chris Volstad for the Marlins. And if you're planning on coming downtown tomorrow, 1:05 first pitch. Marquis and Sanchez tomorrow, and then 1:35 on Sunday.
Now John doing exactly what he should be doing. Bottom of the order, throwing nothing but strikes to try to get that pitch count back into some semblance of an order. Just 63 pitches, 56 pitches through 3 innings, and only 7 thus far this inning.
Right field line foul. Now the Pirates, I told you, they scored a run in the 3rd at Cincinnati. Reds have tied it. St. Louis took a lead in the 2nd at Atlanta, but Nate McLouth back from the dead. He was marooned in the minor leagues with a bad year, and he homered to tie that. And John Lannon gets the quick inning. 4 Ks for Lannon. Zimmerman, Dunn, and Bernardina coming up. .org. The Association for IT Pros. Here's Debbie with our FCA sideline report.
Well, Marlins starter Alex Zanabia has made 2 starts against the Nats. He did well in the first one, holding the Nats scoreless. In the second one, the Nats scored 4 runs over 5 2/3 innings. Here's Ryan Zimmerman on Zanabia.
It kind of mixes it up. I mean, he throws his changeup a lot, even to righties. And, the one time he hit his spots, he got ahead. And like you said, he did well. But then I think the more you see him, the more you get used to what he does. But, it's never easy with whoever's pitching.
Ryan added, too, that Zanabia doesn't have the overpowering stuff like Josh Johnson, but as a hitter, you just have to stick with your plan and have your same approach. Bob?
And try to react to his outstanding changeup. He goes first pitch fastball, and a strike to Ryan. He walked him first time up. early career matchups against these young Marlin pitchers. And Zimmerman goes upstairs, can't get that one. 87. The stadium gun said 90 on a pitch up and in. A lot of hitters have holes in their swings up there.
Yeah, most of them do. When it's that high, you see Ryan start to break down his left arm as he was pinched by the pitch, trying to get the bat barrel into a place that was in a hitting position. Navi only, out of 53 pitches, 29 strikes, 24 balls, so he hasn't been sharp. The third breaking ball, again for a ball.
That's going to ring up Zimmerman.
Seems like he makes one good pitch every at bat to someone.
Seems to pick out the right time of the count to do it.
Well, he sets up outside and he just drills it right there. Just nips the corner. Perfect pitch in that bottom quadrant.
And Ray, we talked about this. That location was established back in the first inning. Pitch track from UPS store. We do a lot more than shipping, like offering moving boxes and supplies. Maybe one of the best pitches Sanabia made tonight was one of his worst. It was a 3-0 fastball to Adam Dunn right down the middle, and Adam simply popped it up to center with 2 men on base.
Yeah,
turned out to be his best, but it didn't look like that coming in.
He'd like to have that pitch back. It was, I don't think he was committed to swinging at 3-0, Bob. That was the kind of pitch at middle of the plate that he pulls sharply. And he hit that ball straight away center field, so that tells you his bat was laid.
Adam gets jammed, and he's behind 1-2. Third man up, Bernardina this inning. Ryan Howard is connected in New York, so has Carlos Beltran. Howard's 29th, Beltran's 3rd. In the 4th inning, Phillies and the Mets are tied at 3. Phillies have won 3 straight and lead Atlanta by a game in the East. Change up, and Adam Dunn's gone. Now he's starting to strike people out the second time around the order. It'll bring in Bernardina with 2 outs and the base is empty.
Well, he just really hasn't thrown the fastball effectively enough for strikes. So somebody ought to go up there looking for the changeup. Here it is again. Down. Or the way I approached it, and a lot of guys approached it, was look for the fastball away and drive it the opposite way, and then the changeup sits for you.
Oh, he does drive it the opposite way, right at Logan Morrison. The Nats are done in order in the 4th. In the 5th now, the Marlins top of the order, up by 2. has an Nats only hit, but with the pitcher batting, he was caught stealing. John Lennon, some struggles rate, 23 pitches that first inning.
Yeah, the pitch up to Ugla after the base hit to Bonifacio and a walk to Ramirez, and then a ball down and in that Wes Helms, just using all that veteran experience, drives and lifts to right field. Looked like a good pitch to make him hit a ground ball on it, but he was somehow able to manipulate that bat and hit it to deep enough to right field.
Emilio Bonifacio leads off. He's 2 for 2 with a steal and a run.
Yeah, that John, they're hitting 3.030 on him this year after going 256 and 07 and 263 and 08 and 09.
Yeah, you want that guy to hit the ball in the air, and he did. Easy for Morse. And the 5th inning off to a good start. Going back to the double play ball now. Lannon has retired 5 in a row. That might have been his biggest pitch of the game. 2 on 1 out back in the 3rd in the middle of another long inning. And he got the Twin killing, throwing 21 pitches in that frame. He had a quick 4th against the bottom. And here's Logan Morrison 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground ball to short. John's ahead. Cincinnati, by the way, scored 3 runs in that 3rd inning. They lead Pittsburgh 3-1. And Matt Holliday just homered. St. Louis got 2 more at Atlanta. Great breaking ball.
Well, he hasn't thrown many of them. I thought he might go to it in the 4th. He's got a good one, and he certainly has been pitching with that pitch during this stretch that he's been so good. I don't think he has that many pitches. Let's see what he... That's a little change up there. Yeah.
And he got the foul tip, and it hits Pudge.
I think Pudge wanted to go right back with a breaking ball. And John shook. Let's see where this ball hits Pudge. Right on that protective cover for the top of his foot. Hopefully it hit that instead of the inside of that shin, because the inside of that, the ball of the foot, that's a tender place.
0-2, Lennon keeping the ball down. He's becoming a strikeout pitcher. That's 5 on the night. We talked about John's strikeout touch at Pittsburgh with a season-high 7 last Saturday.
Great changeup, starting in the strike zone, moving out of it, a little bit on the plate. Morrison, a very good contact hitter, doesn't strike out very much. Shows you how good that changeup is, because that kid, studying the Charlie Lau book, his first thought process is hit the ball to left field.
Does that book by Charlie Lau explain how to hit a nasty pitch on 0-2?
It explains a lot. You know, it explains a lot. It teaches you to stay back and not to get out front of the baseball, which then gives you a better chance to hit a nasty pitch 0-2 or at least foul it off.
Well, I don't think Hanley Ramirez ever plays the Nats without getting a hit or 2 at least. He's on for the 2nd time tonight. Walked earlier and scored, and that's up the middle. Ugla coming up. Tomorrow's a day game, 1 o'clock. It'll be Marquis and Sanchez, 1:35. DC 50 joins us on Sunday. Zimmerman and Volstad. Then it's on to Atlanta for 3 night games, Monday, Tuesday. And a Wednesday matinee for getaway day before the Nationals head up to Philadelphia for next weekend. That'll be a tough road trip. The Braves still have the best home record in Major League Baseball. At home this year, Atlanta is 49-20. And right now, trailing St. Louis in the 3rd inning, 3-1.
Beauty. Well, Ugla is as good as anybody in the league middle end. Fastball, and even the changeups or breaking balls that come in there, there's something in his vision that just allows him to jump all over that ball inside. Dead pull hitter. But he has a tough time with anything going away from him. As long as it's down, they're going to come inside. That scares me.
Yeah, get it up there or get it way in there. 2-1.
Well, when Steven Strasburg threw one in there at 98 and he hit a home run on him, that really scares me when the rest of these guys try to get in there.
Ugla rocking back and forth on those feet in the batter's box. One of the most unusual setups you'll see. A lot of guys move their bat back and forth. His feet are constantly going up and down, back and forth. He gets set kind of early this time. With the runner going, and Pudge has no chance. And he'll get an error, his 4th of the year, on a very short throw. Espinosa tried to keep it out of center field, but he just couldn't.
That's almost the kind of throw, almost like we've talked about Ian Desmond holding on to a ball. Now, you know Pudge has all the experience in the world, but with Ramirez's speed and that kind of jump on a ball that bounces in the dirt, you're not going to have much of a chance. Because great jump, the guy can fly, not even close, and the ball bounces and it takes about 0.2 of a second to get that ball and recover, and then it's all about gripping it in the right spot. You don't have any chance to get it across seams.
3-1 to Ugla. He'll pop it up. Espinosa out. And he will grab it over the shoulder with a very good play. So the single, steal, and error do not hurt. Morse coming up, down 2-0. Teddy with the backpack. Tom with the backpack. Abe with the backpack. They're going to stop and throw T-shirts. Where's George? See you guys later.
George says, to heck with that, I'm going to win a race.
Now that's entertainment. 79 pitches, 49 strikes for John Lannon through 5. And now Sanabia goes back to work. 61 pitches, 35 strikes through 4. Take away a couple of pitches in that first inning. And this is a dandy matchup. Michael Morse jacks one to the wall. Nationals have their first extra base hit, their second hit of the game. He's aboard with nobody out here in the 5th.
Well, he hit a changeup. About time somebody looked for one down and in there. And he smoked that thing to left field. Look at this changeup, and it fades inside. He takes a stride and just throws the barrel at the ball. Perfectly square. Rocket, one hop the wall. Gets away from Morrison, and he cruises into second base.
Next up is Pudge, who lined out to right first time.
Now, Bob, this is where as a hitter, and you're this far down in the lineup, you don't necessarily try to get the runner over by giving yourself up. You try to drive the runner in.
But he pulls it in front of the runner, and that will not even advance Michael Morse.
Well, I know, but that's my point. I mean, when you get that deal where you're down to the 8th place hitter and the pitcher, and you've got your better hitter up there, you're taught to drive that run in. Now, if you can hit the ball to right field like Pudge does, then you're taught drive it that way, and then you get the runner to third base. But that's why I wanted to make that point before he swung, because I did not think that he'd necessarily be going to right field, especially with that changeup. Very difficult to hit the changeup that way.
Here's Niger, who guided one up the middle last time, and then inexplicably was caught stealing with John Lennon batting and 2 outs.
And that's the only time that I don't want my hitter to necessarily try to get the runner over and give himself up. If I think that's the guy that's most apt to drive in a run or hit a double in the bottom of the lineup.
Morgan gets jammed over to grab it. Bonifacio, 2 outs.
And over the course of time and reading all the statistics and the percentages, you find out that your 7-hole hitter drives in more runs from second base than your 8-hole hitter does from third base. And that's why he's hitting 7th, because the 8-hole hitter generally is a guy that is a defensive specialist and not known to drive in runs.
Here's Landon, who struck out swinging first time. Phillies just dropped a 4th spot on the Mets in the top of the 4th and lead 6-3 in New York.
To take that thought one step farther, if you're in the 7th inning and you're one run down, and you got a bench full of pinch hitters and your 8th and 9th place hitters up, then you have a whole different idea. You let him get him over there and then bring in somebody that you have that you think will match up.
John Lennon, 4 RBIs this year. And he might have swung at ball 3. It'll be 2-2 now.
It's going to be real hard for Lennon to hit that ball to left field like he's been doing, as Morris is way in here.
He threw him the same pitch, and Lennon took it. Espinosa next if somehow John Lennon can extend this inning.
Now with 2 strikes, you're taught as a runner on second base to get your secondary lead, and if the hitter starts his bat, you take off. That way you get a jump and you can score.
He doesn't. Lennon with a good walk, and that'll give Espinosa a 2-out chance. That's the second walk issued by Sanabria tonight, and the worst possible time for that. That'll bring in Danny Espinosa, who is suddenly 0 for his last 8.
And has popped up twice on changeups, Bob. Once the first, once the third. So at least maybe he has that changeup in the back of his mind now and can just sit back a little bit, look for the ball middle of the way, and try to hit it right back up the middle hard. And go down and through it. No, it's still fooling him.
And they're obviously junking it up on him now.
Well, they have.
Everybody saw in the first week in the big leagues how he can turn around a fastball. Way outside, 1-1.
I don't think they've thrown him a fastball for strike other than the 1-0 pitch, his first at bat, that they threw on the outside corner.
This is where the rookie Sanabria has really started to have his problems. 400 third time through.
He's talking to himself out there.
And Espinosa hits a long ball to right field. He didn't get it. It's in front of the scoreboard, and the Nats leave 2 more. They've stranded 4 on the night. Into the 6th inning now with Florida. Still on top by those two.
First inning. Here's a fastball outside part of the plate to Maven to ring him up. Change up, double play. Gets a sweet little turn there by Espinosa, and then he strikes out Morrison on the fastball down and in. He's given up those 5 hits. He's gotten himself back in line with just 79 pitches, Bob, and looks like the breaking ball's starting to get over for strikes. He just needs a little bit of offensive support.
Here's our Mass Mutual in-game box for the Marlins. Bonifacio, a couple of hits. Ramirez on twice. Ugla on twice with an RBI. Mike Stanton, an inconsequential double back in the first. John Lennon has controlled the bottom of the order pretty well. And his first pitch is a strike to Wes Helms, who has hit a sac fly and walked.
There you go. There's a fastball in for a strike. He hasn't thrown a lot of them in there, but hasn't gotten very many of them over the edge of that plate. He looks good to me, Bob. He's looked solid since that first inning. There's a hook.
I think he's a totally different pitcher than he was first half of the season. John made starts April 5th, opening day. An 11-1 loss to the Phillies, in the rotation till June 20th, and then gone for 5.5 weeks. Came back a different guy. Severe damage on the right-handed batter Helms.
He just looks to be free and easy. Just tell by his body language that he's confident that he can make his pitch. That left elbow, he didn't say much about it. Privately, he has expressed how tight it was and tender, and they had the little bit of, or quite a bit of fluid in there.
One ball, 2 strikes.
That's the one thing that you'll see control-type pitchers do, is get 0-2 and let hitters get back in the count, because they try to make the perfect pitch with something generally soft.
Well, suddenly it's 3-2.
Yeah. Whereas a guy like Jordan Zimmerman gets you 0-2, he just elevates the fastball or throws that hook on you and makes quick work of you. You've mentioned how good John has been. there's Jordan, over his last 7 outings, Bob, he hasn't given up more than 2 runs, but only 1 start, and that was a Chicago start where he gave up the 4 runs. But ever since the 1st of August.
And a ball laced out to center. Niger misjudged it at the beginning, had the speed to close on it at the end. It turns out to be a very good play for the first out. That ball might have been knuckling on him a bit. And a pretty good at bat by Wes Helms.
Well, ball right at him. Very difficult to judge that ball. The toughest ball to judge.
Thing I've noticed about Niger, Ray, on a ball in front of him, if he gets near it, he'll catch it. His problem at times has been going back on a ball up against the wall. You know, and sometimes most of the time, that's the fault of the pitcher. But if he's coming in or going sideways for a ball, he generally holds on.
You know,
that was a good play.
Bob, my dad told me when I was about 7 years old, when he was hitting balls to me out in the cow pasture at my grandmama's, that Ray, is so much easier to catch the ball coming in than it is going back. And that's something, when you say that, it just takes me right back to my sweet dad who left us a few years ago, but nonetheless, early lessons.
Zimmerman knocks it down. Plenty of time. On to Dunn. And Mike Stanton retired for the second out. Well, they're having one tonight. They'll have one, I suppose, tomorrow, even though it's a day game. Miller Lite party time at Nationals Park. Get a scoreboard pavilion seat and a drink voucher, $20, $22 for prime games. And come early, the pregame happy hour happens at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar, featuring $5 brews. 105. First pitch tomorrow. Cameron Maybin's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And a ground ball to short. And now a pop-up out behind second. Espinosa made the early call. And now the ball drifts over to Desmond. Breeze blowing it around a bit. Ian, Zimmerman, and Dunn coming up. Beautiful view of Nationals Park from a couple of blocks away down here in Southeast on a beautiful Friday evening in September. Yeah. Desmond, Zimmerman, Dunn coming up. The Mass Mutual box score pretty empty. Second inning, Niger Morgan, the base hit. He was caught stealing. Michael Morse, leadoff double in the fifth. He never made it to third base. Here's Desmond 0 for 1, hit by a pitch in the first. Sanabia working the corners effectively. 75 pitches now, 43 strikes for him. 2 walks, a hit batter, but only 2 hits.
can't try to pull that change up. I mean, we've done that time and time again. If it's up, you can react to it the way that Michael Morris did.
There's Burke Badenhop. Sanabia due to bat second in the 7th inning. And Desmond on an 0-2 pitch has to swing and flies out easily to stand in right field. It's about 11 days ago down in Florida. Ryan Zimmerman taking this pitcher deep.
Yeah,
I mean deep.
Yeah, he took off that end up there, that yellow sign right at the top of right at the upper deck facade.
That was the opening of that 3-game series. First pitch delayed almost 3 hours by rain. And at about 11 o'clock, Ryan hit that home run, his second at bat. Nats won that game 9-3. Last pitch thrown at 1:04 a.m.
Now you're taught to throw your fastest pitch inside and your softest pitch away. And Sanabia has thrown his fastest pitch away and his changeup in. And the reason why you throw your fastest pitch away is because that gets people off of that changeup or breaking ball on the outside part of the plate and gives you a little bit more distance to work with out there, room to work with.
Zimmerman goes the other way and flies to right. Circling is Stanton. 2 easy outs. AT&T trivia. Did the off day cool us off? Stanton leads Major League rookies with 13 homers since the break. Who holds Florida's all-time rookie record post-break?
I'm going to say Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, to me it would be 3 guys. Cabrera, Ugla, or Hanley Ramirez. Yeah, I think you've got it, but I'll go Ugla. And the Nats are going away here in the 6th inning. 3 big hitters, 3 easy outs. To the 7th, 2-0 Fish. Ago, developing situation with the starters. Yuneski Maya has made his debut, and John Lannon, I think you would have to consider him entrenched now.
Well, I do, and I think the Nationals brass does. Zimmerman should be entrenched. Maya showed a lot of promise after the 3 innings. You know that Hernandez is going to be back, and then you have all the people that 11 people total that have started for this ball club, and just a tremendous amount of depth in the starting rotation and possibilities, and they all will get better. Every one of those guys. Ballister's throwing the heck out of the ball. Mott, after that injury to his back. Detweiler throwing the ball great the other night. So we've got a lot of young people in there. Olson pitched 4 innings well. So either they're going to be a part of this ball club's ascension, or they're going to be a part of trades that where they're pieces of the puzzle to acquire better players.
That ball well hit to left. Right off the top of the wall, I see one umpire saying home run. John Hirschbeck, the crew chief at third base, says home run, and now the others signal the same thing. Brad Davis with his second of the year, and the Marlins evidently lead 3-0. We'll see if Jim Riggleman comes out to challenge. So far, no.
Well, I think it hits in the flowers. This ball, you watch it tracking.
That's a homer.
Yeah, it hits in the flowers off the back of the rail into the park.
So that's catcher Brad Davis with his second major league home run. In fact, both of them have come against the Nationals. Davis hit a home run in the fourth inning of the 16-10 fight-filled game on Wednesday, September 1st. And now Sanabia, who is still in the ball game, has a base hit.
Well, that's 2 pretty hit balls right there after John mowed through the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
And Sanabia, yeah, that's his first hit. He was 0 for 15. So the catcher's hit his only 2 major league homers against the Nats. And now Sanabia gets his first major league hit. Bonifacio, with all that speed, steps in. Nats are playing it like he'll be bunting. But even if it's not a sacrifice, you pretty much have to play this guy this way.
Yeah.
He'll drop one down on you and beat it out anywhere. He is swinging and fouls it off to the right.
Well, you've got all the thunder at the top of the batting order, and this guy is paid to bunt. You've got a 3-zip lead. Now, maybe because the pitcher's running, they don't want him to have to slide at second base, but it seems like the bunt should be in order here to me, but no, not doing it. A lot of I'm surprised. I am surprised so often in the last 4 years where managers don't bunt in situations that used to be just automatic.
Are we evolving toward a more free swinging, less small ball oriented game?
No.
Because, Ray, we keep hearing that when you get drugs out of the game, small ball will be back and it'll be baseball like it used to be.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I do know that we have evolved into, less of a small ball type situation or bunting over sacrificial situation. I was raised through the Reds organization, and it goes all the way back to Branch Rickey. Everybody that was into Reds was either Cardinal protege or Yankees or Dodgers. And there were just certain things that you had to do.
Bonifacio, by the way, foul tipped that ball right into the glove of Pudge. The home plate umpire's already called him out. He wants to look at the ball to see if maybe there's a mark on it. Bonifacio's not leaving. And Jim Riggleman wants to say, how could you call? He raised his right hand.
He checks the ball and sees if there's any dirt on it, and if there is, then he says the ball bounced. So let's see if it does bounce. Yeah, it definitely hit the ground.
But if it wasn't,
did he touch it? I mean, but did he touch it?
See,
that's the thing.
I think this is what happens. The umpire hears the ball hit the ground and thinks it's a foul tip. It appeared to us that Bonifacio cleanly missed that ball. 3-2. Now he's gone. And John Lannon with his 6th strikeout.
And I'm always glad when our pitcher strikes the opposition out, but I'm doubly happy when they strike him out when I think that they should be doing something different. Not that my thoughts matter that much, but just can't believe you don't bunt on your own right there.
Here's Morrison 0 for 3. And John missing his spot, but it's right over the plate. Hitter might have noticed out of the corner of his eye that Pudge was set up outside, and then the breaking ball comes right in there.
Change up.
So that's why he's inside. Great pitch right at the knees.
Well, I find nothing wrong with the way John has pitched tonight. You know, his pitch count has been right on the money. He's going to get the ball club through probably 7 innings. You know, he hasn't been hit hard. That first inning was obviously the big problem, but I didn't think at that time that it was any big deal. Our offense has been solid, except for a game or so. But as Ryan Zimmerman said, we faced Sanabia 3 times. You should get more familiar, and I always think the more you see a pitcher, the better the offense's chance is to do something.
Desmond to his right.
Great play.
Great reaction play for the second out. And he was leaning toward the bag because of that runner. I think Jim Riggleman now has seen enough. He doesn't want Lannon facing Hanley Ramirez, and John will be gone after 6 2/3.
Just quick reactions as this ball is slicing hard away, drives the ball that way. Nice quick feet.
Solid night for John Lannon.
He's having to talk him out of it. He doesn't want to leave.
He wants Hanley Ramirez, but Jim Riggleman wants Tyler Clippard against Hanley Ramirez. Very good 6 2/3 by Lannon tonight. Our AT&T trivia. Who holds the Marlins all-time rookie record post-break home runs? Stanton's had 13 of them. Hey, who knows? Maybe that's the record.
Hey!
The hammer. Good one, guys.
Wow.
That was good.
I'm glad I don't feed my children on this trivia. I wouldn't be doing too well.
Neither would they. Hanley Ramirez reaches out and strokes the base hit. He's on for the third time. The Nats simply cannot get that man out. And it's been going on for 5 years. Tyler Clippard now faces Dan Uggla, his 69th appearance. ERA in that saves thing, 1 save in 10 opportunities. Not that he's been out there in the 9th inning. He does have, Clippard, a save on the year, but it means he's given up a lot of late inning leads. Tonight it's a hold 'em situation. There's a broken bat hit. This could be interesting. They'll have to hold the pitcher. Bases loaded. And they've come in and attacked Tyler Clippard early in the count twice now. Not exactly gashing the ball. And it'll be Clippard against Wes Helms.
Well, they are a first ball, fastball hitting club. When they're going well, they're swinging early in the count. Slayton getting loose, and there's not a left-hander. Next 4 hitter.
Yeah,
Detweiler, excuse me. I saw Detweiler.
Slayton on the shelf, suspended right now.
Yep. Big out right here. I mean, this ball game is still in balance, and you come in there with 3, 4, 5 right-handed hitters to face. Maben can turn around to the left side, but need to really bear down here and get this man.
Two 2-0. Meanwhile, pitchers under a lot of pressure with runners on every base. Sanabia, Ramirez, and Uggla, they've all singled, but also the fact that now the Nationals have only scored 3 runs in their last 24 innings at the plate.
Yeah, the team has just done that all year long, just hot as a firecracker and then cold as an iceberg.
Actually, 25 innings. They didn't score in the last inning of their blowout win Monday over the Mets, but since then, very quiet. Big pitch here with the bases loaded, 2-1 count. Target in.
Good spot.
At the stroke of 9 here at Nationals Park, the Marlins are trying to possibly put this game away. They lead 3-0. Home run to lead off this inning by rookie catcher Brad Davis. 2 outs later, bases loaded, and a count of 2-2 on Wes Helms. Clippard will step off. Target in again. Popped up. Right field for Michael Morse. And with this one, the Marlins have stranded 8 runners on the night. Our game brought to you by the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Washington area Hyundai dealers this weekend. The Marlins lead by 3. Time to stretch. Drive One, and by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. Being down by 3 on a beautiful night, enough to get a guy all choked up. The Nats only managing 2 hits so far, and a 3-0 Marlins lead. They pitch well. Their rookie Sanabria has gotten huge outs when needed, and the Marlins, they've always been a timely hitting team against the Nats.
They sure have, and they take advantage of every situation. Sanabria throwing the fastball outside, and then the changeup inside, and we've just pounded the changeup in the ground or lifted it to the air. And only 2 base hits, not really very many good approaches as the night's gone on. And John Lannon, again, another solid outing, just 3 runs and getting you to the 7th inning, 2 outs into the 7th inning, and offense just failing him once again.
Roger Bernardino 0 for 2 tonight. Morris and Rodriguez to follow. No, Alex Sanabria, we thought a couple of innings ago they might pinch hit for him. He's still out there. Up and in, 1-1.
Yeah, when he comes in there to that side of the plate, he has a tough time throwing strikes to left-handers with a fastball, but then the changeup right there is a changeup. I've got him for 5 breaking balls all night long, and they spoke about trying to get him to use more breaking balls, but he's a guy that's just pitching with 2 pitches, a fastball and a changeup. What a great changeup. I mean, we faced him 3 times now, and we really haven't hit him hard any of the 3 times. We were able to beat him.
And even when he leaves the changeup up,
the speed of it is so deceptive that having a tough time squaring it.
He goes off speed again. Well, if you're ever going to get a fastball, you would think it would be on a 3-2 pitch when he's ahead by 3 to the leadoff batter. Doesn't want to walk anybody here.
He's giving him the changeup. See the circle finger?
Bernardino drives this ball to left. Moving back is Morrison. He's there in plenty of time.
Actually, the circle finger means sinker for them because that was 88. That wasn't a changeup.
Our copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. On your left, Joe Besenius, former Philadelphia farmhand, throwing the ball really well in the Nats organization. Joel Peralta is with him now. Michael Morse 1 for 2 with a double. And he'll pull this one to the left side. Bonifacio, great range, and he did stay on the bag. Wes Helms, 2 outs. Well played at both ends.
Fastball in, jams Morris. Great range by Bonifacio. He talked about him being one of the fastest runners in the league, and that translates to having a tremendous amount of range.
And that's something. Gabby Sanchez supposed to play first base tonight. He gets scratched because of the suspension. Helms probably doesn't get to that ball.
Oh, no way.
Maben was going to be the leadoff man. He's 0 for 3 tonight, and Bonifacio got hits his first 2 times up after they stuck him in the lineup.
Yeah, Wes Helms, a very solid defensive third baseman, but not a rangy defensive third baseman. A couple steps either way, and that's about all he can cover.
Fastball up to Pudge. It's 1-1 here in the 7th. The Nats have 2 hits all night long. He's retired 14 of the last 16 hitters. Jose Veras got himself ejected in that fight down in Florida. Outside, 3-1. Rodriguez pulling it. Here comes Bonifacio again. And as he makes the exchange, it comes out of his hands. And it looks like they'll give Pudge Rodriguez a base hit.
He's playing back so deep there. You see him all the way back, 4th position, charging. He has plenty of time there to get Pudge if he just makes the exchange. But as he goes in to get it, he kind of flips his glove downward. Instead of taking the ball out of his glove, he brings his glove up to his hand. It's a lot better to work your hand down to the glove.
I think he had a lot more time there, Ray, than he thought he did. And the Nats will take it, their 3rd hit of the game. It gets Morgan to the plate. Willie Harris is on deck. If Niger can keep the 7th inning going. That's inner half for a strike.
He's changing speeds off his fastball also. I keep saying he has 2 pitches, a fastball and a changeup, but that fastball's been from 85 to 93. So he just keeps changing speeds on the fastball, which makes it look like he has 3 pitches. It seems like when he throws at 85 to 88, it's sinking tight. And when he throws it above 88, it really runs and kind of rises a little bit. Not that it rises, but it actually looks as if it actually stays up in the zone longer.
John Lennon threw 109 pitches, Sanabia nearing 100. Morgan reaching out, trying to pull that ball. And the count's 2-2.
And he is actually treading waters that he's never tread before, as he's gone to 98 pitches, 92 being the season high, Bob. So, and we saw the progression of how hitters lit him up as he went through the lineup the 3rd time. It hasn't been the case tonight.
He went 7 2/3 at Pittsburgh 4 starts ago. So he's matched his longest major league outing in terms of outs. (3-2). Rodriguez running. Morgan flips it out of play.
I think either way, this most definitely be his last hitter. Marlins just getting somebody up in bullpen, so that wouldn't be right.
He walks Morgan. They had Badenhop up earlier. The odd thing is, Ray, they have 10 men in their bullpen. Only one of them left-handed, Will Lohman, and he's not warming up. So Willie Harris and Jim Riggleman get a left-handed versus right-handed pitcher matchup here, it appears.
I'm a little
Edwin
surprised.
Rodriguez is coming out, and he may just come with a new right-hander, the hard-throwing Jose Virus. Pretty good night for Sanabia. Matches his major league long. for 2011. Place a deposit on 2 new season tickets for next year, and you get 2 free. Plus, the rest of this season, free tickets. Go to nationals.com/2011 for more information. From those highlights, looks like you'll be in for a lot of excitement next year. You catch a foul ball here, we'll find you. Alex Sanabia done as he pitches 2 outs into the 7th inning.
Well, in the 4th inning, he was able to strike out John Lannon. Zimmerman there, actually in the 4th. In the 4th, back-to-back, Adam Dunn on the changeup. Only 3 strikeouts, but also just 3 base hits, 3 walks, and not very many balls hit hard at all. Shutting down the Nats offense.
This guy throws hard. Willie Harris is a fastball hitter. He's had big pinch hits for the Nats lately, and Veras goes off speed, missing. Willie Harris has a pinch hitter, a homer, 9 RBIs, 11 for 42. Two and 0.
Well, he let that one go. 98 to the tune of 98. This is where Willie just has to lock in to the one pitch that he knows that he drives the best, and that's the ball middle of the plate, just a tad down, maybe 1 ball in for Willie. That's pretty close if it would have been another 2 or 3 inches up. That's just about the spot he likes it. That ball down at the bottom part of the strike zone, but almost central of the plate and moving away a little bit. Bring that ball up about 4 or 5 inches and move it in 4 inches. We got it.
Yeah.
96.
Nationals have stranded only 4 runners tonight.
Nice.
Lost 1 stealing, 2 on, 2 out here in the 7th.
Nice at bat by Niger, Bob. Working that walk as he fouled off a couple balls.
That's a slider high in the zone, and Willie Harris walks away. The Nats have stranded 6 and still trail by 3. Meet again. Anibal Sanchez, unbeaten in his career against the Nats, 4-0. With a 2.40 ERA, he'll be looking for his 12th win with that big curveball of his. Jason Marquis for the Nats is definitely on the way back. His last 4 starts, a 2.25 ERA, 2 wins, 2 losses. Trying to bring down that high ERA, and he's been doing that lately. It's Sanchez, it's Marquis. We'll start you at 12:30 right here at the ballpark. First pitch 105 tomorrow. Making his Nationals debut, 27 years of age, Joe Bissenius, who's from Sioux City, Alabama, called him up from Syracuse on Tuesday, did the Nats. He made a couple of appearances, totaling just 2 innings with the Phillies in 07. He told me today he has 3 pitches, but he doesn't throw his changeup as a reliever. He's got a mid-90s fastball and a curve. Not going to mess around a whole lot with off-speed stuff. And the Nats are very impressed with him this year. 4-0, 3.05 ERA in 38 innings.
46 punch-outs in those 38 innings. Pretty good pitch.
There's that high-riding fastball, 95.
Well, he just rears back, gives you a lot of arm, and that inside-out rotation causes that ball to just shoot off toward the inside part of the plate. There it is again.
Well, he's throwing free and easy, too. Yeah. There's not much effort out there.
That's nice arm action right there. You see why they're excited about this young kid that they acquired from the Phillies, and signed as a free agent, but he pitched with the Phillies. He didn't get much action, did he, Bob?
No, just 2 games, 2 innings. Nats signed him back in May, 10th of May, when he became available.
6'4", 205.
That's a swing and a miss, and my apologies to Sioux City, Iowa. It says Alabama on the Nats
I saw that.
Game notes, and I'm thinking, I've never heard of Sioux City, Alabama.
I haven't either.
But I'll trust him, but we'll go with Iowa. That sounds a little more accurate. And our truck has him from Iowa. I know Phoenix City, Alabama, but not Sioux City. 2-2 pitch. Out to left center. Niger Morgan is under it. Right at the edge of the track. And a well-hit ball by Mike Stanton to lead off the 8th.
Shows you how strong that young man is as he hit that ball with one hand. Gosh. If he ever learns the strike zone, he will be a great star in this league.
Here's Cameron Maybin, who's 0 for 3. As I mentioned earlier, written in as the leadoff man with Gabby Sanchez in the lineup. But when he was scratched because of his suspension, that moved Maybin down to 7 and put Bonifacio in the leadoff spot.
Bissenius right at that 97, 98 mark every pitch he throws. Whoa, that's a hook.
Yep.
Now that is some serious rotation on a curveball. When you can see it on TV, you know that thing's got some serious bite.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Maybin.
That 72 was a foul, the ball fouled back. On the board, it had him at 98. Boy, he's free and easy. I like his action. That's funny, you know, we're with this ball club all year long. You look all through the minor leagues and you look at people that may or may not be a part of this club.
That was a defensive swing and a hard-breaking ball.
And I never even knew that this kid was on the radar.
Ford drive of the game. Last time up, Brad Davis, who has now hit his only 2 major league home runs against the Nationals. It hit near that railing, bounced through the flowers and back onto the field, and called correctly by John Hirschbeck at third base, a home run.
Well, he's not supposed to hit that ball out of the park. That thing was working its way right to the to the dirt, only about 12, 14 inches off the ground. I didn't realize it was that low when I first saw it, but that ball was down. Down there where those left-handers like it, Bob.
Not too many good low ball right-handed batters. And the 0-2 now. Well, he's not out there messing around with 3 pitches, is he?
No.
He's got the fastball. He can throw different locations. Let's see what he does on 0-2 if he gives the right-hander the big hook here.
Well, Pudge asked for the ball up. He may have shook him off.
That's a fastball. So I asked Joe today, do you sink it at all? He said, nah. Now I can see why he doesn't have to mess with that.
Well, that's a good arm to acquire. I got to learn a little bit more about his history. Good curveball.
Yeah.
I don't know how you let arms like this get away from you. It's a part of the Nationals' great scouting department that's able to sniff these guys out and get them signed.
He'll be 28 in 8 days. And the 0-2 pitch. Chad Tracy had a walk-off hit against the Nats in Florida. He is waiting, if the inning continues, down to the pitcher's spot. Well, that pitch has been a strike, or at least close to it most of the night. Didn't get that call.
I think it's a little outside. Pudge is already sitting out there. I believe it's out there.
Called correctly.
Oh.
Hey, Ray, what does 97, 98 sound when it goes by?
I don't know.
How does that sound when it's upstairs?
My tail is usually on the ground.
That's way up there.
If I can react, look at that. He moves after the ball is by him. Do you see that?
Yeah. That'll give you a check swing on the next one.
I know what it'll give me. I usually back away from the plate.
Little jelly leg.
I get about another 2 inches away from the plate.
He takes the fastball right up the middle. What an at-bat by Brad Davis. He's aboard with 2 outs. And that'll bring in Chad Tracy. Hitting for Veras.
Well, that's just a tremendous example of pumping fastball after fastball after fastball. All of them located well, not being able to put it in play. Really bad swings, and then he throws one down the middle, and the guy hits a P right back at him. So you can't throw it too hard in this league. They will hit it if it's down the middle. If you give him 4 or 5 shots at it. He had him set up so well for the hook then, and just wanted to put him away with the fastball.
Braves have just scored 2 in the 6th to tie St. Louis at home. Phillies are winning handily at New York now, 7-3, and Pudge will dig that one out.
That might be his problem, Bob, or may have been his problem. I don't know. I haven't seen him enough. I'm just, through observation, he hasn't thrown a curveball close to the plate. So he might be a one-pitch pitcher. And although that curveball has a lot of bite to it, he hasn't had it anywhere near home plate.
Got it on his hands right there, and Zimmerman will come in and take charge. Good Nationals debut for Joe Basenius. Top of the order coming up, Espinosa, Desmond Zimmerman, Adam Dunn lurking in the 8th. Ian Desmond and Ryan Zimmerman down by 3. Let the games begin. Georgetown game tickets now on sale. GUHoyas.com. Nothing like college athletics to get you going this time of the year. And here's Leo Nunez, who has been the Marlins closer almost all year. 29 saves. Some struggles in late innings lately. And he'll handle 3 tough hitters in the Washington 8th. Danny Espinosa 0 for 3 tonight with 3 balls in the air. One of them carried to the scoreboard last time. And he swings and fouls tip. 1 ball, 1 strike. Danny's batting average down to a more human 360 now. 9 for 25. Craig Stammen warming.
About the best opportunity that we have had tonight to score, other than the first inning when Adam flew out to center on a 3-0 pitch. Danny driving the ball right to the warning track after a Morris double and a Harris walk, or actually a Lannon walk.
Yeah, Morris had doubled with nobody out. Zimmerman and Dunn waiting. Nats need Danny Espinosa on base here. That's a swing and a foul tip. He's gone. And Espinosa now 0 for his last 10. Marlins pitching tough tonight.
Tough pitch, bottom of the strike zone, fastball, moving away, just about a perfect pitch. Danny doesn't look like the type of hitter that's going to take a little off of his swing.
Yeah, you noticed that last week. He went down for that fastball and ended up swinging under it. Now Nunez gets a strike on Desmond. Well, welcome to the big leagues. Adjustments to be made, right?
Well, you know, he showed you that he has all the ability in the world. Now it's going to be, that's right, Bob, adjustment, adjustment, adjustment.
Two and 1 to Desmond.
You know, we haven't had much success. The Nationals haven't had much success against this ball club. It seems like everybody they throw out there on the mound has great stuff. It may not rattle the radar gun, but the movement. These guys all have outstanding downward movement. And Sanabia tonight threw 6 breaking balls and was able to get through the lineup 3 complete times, almost a 4th time with fastball changeup.
2-2, the target away. Desmond reaching. Hanley Ramirez forward to get it. He played that well, avoiding that last hop. And it's 2-0 out, nobody on. Potomac Nationals, how about a minor league battle of the Beltway for you? Carolina League MVP Tyler Moore and the Peanuts host the O's affiliate Frederick in the first round of the playoffs all weekend down in Woodbridge. For $15, you get a game ticket, all you can eat hamburgers, hot dogs, Moe's, and potbelly sandwiches. 703-590-2311 or visit PotomacNationals.com.
The Nationals 3 scoring threats. 1 in the first, hit by pitch and a base on ball as Burnett and Stammen start to heat up out there in the bullpen. Then not again until the 5th when Morris led off with a double. We just mentioned Lannon's base on ball. And then in the 7th, Rodriguez infield single, base on ball to Morgan. Haven't been able to deliver a base hit with the 3 opportunities that we've had. Espinosa driving the ball to the wall.
2-1 to Zimmerman. Well, nobody on base. Adam Dunn can't tie this game, but the Nats sure need Ryan to get on here. He does. Getting around that ball. Got the sweet spot on it. A walk earlier. And now a base hit. Ryan's 1 for 3 tonight. Adam Dunn is 0 for 3.
Ryan has such a quick bat, Bob. He has more hand action and a lot of moving parts with that front leg kicking up the way it does, and he gets it back on the ground, but he doesn't ever seem to move his body forward. And when you have that much looseness in your swing, as far as the hand action and the front part of your body moving that much, that just shows you how gifted of an athlete he is to keep all that stuff in sync. He doesn't get fooled that often.
Bernardino on deck. Dunn hitting here in the 8th. 3-0 lead by the Marlins. They've out hit the Nats 10-4. Adam Dunn goes left center field. That ball is carrying to the track. It'll hit, and a bad break for the Nationals. It goes over the wall. Zimmerman will have to go back to third. He would have scored easily. But Adam Dunn with a great opposite field swing. A ground rule double. And for Adam, that'll be his 71st extra base hit.
Ball's just not carrying tonight. He hits that ball maybe a little down on the barrel, but there's been nights this ball's been out of the ballpark in the bullpen. The ball Espinosa hit, I thought, had a chance to get out of here. It just hung up. The ball that was a home run that Davis hit just never had enough height to get knocked down. But there is a crisp breeze hitting us in the face up here in the booth. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily blowing in, but it is the coolest night we've had since April.
Roger Bernardino 0 for 3 tonight. He's hit the ball in the air 3 times. Left field, base hit. Dunn to third. Catalyst Dash will hold him. Can't get him thrown out to end the inning. The Nats are on the board and the tying runs are on base. Roger Bernardino's 42nd RBI.
Well, that's a great piece of hitting by Roger. Every pitch that this guy has thrown has been on the outside part of the plate to left-handers, and he throws it there again, moving away, and he drives it that way. Now, that's what paying attention does in the on-deck circle. Adam did it. He paid attention, got a ball out away from him, hit it to left center. Bernardino does it. You know, now it's easier to do that off the fastball. Change up like Sanabia, it's a little more difficult. You've got to make him work that ball up in the strike zone to create an advantage for yourself as a hitter.
3 consecutive 2-out hits. Clay Hensley coming in. Bernardino, the RBI. here and get back even at least in this game. Clay Hensley, longtime San Diego Padre, having a solid year for the Marlins in 57 appearances, 2.54 ERA. He's a strikeout guy, 64 innings, 67 Ks, and the league only hitting 210 against him.
Yeah, he has a real good curveball, Bob, that he can throw at any time. You're better off just taking the breaking ball, though, because his fastball straight, throws it in and out, a little bit up and down. But he tends to set you up with that fastball, just showing it to you a little bit, just on the edges, and then try to get you out with the curveball.
Michael Morse, 1 for 3 with a double. He launches one to center, but that's not going anywhere. Maben is under it. First pitch from a new pitcher. Nats are gone in the 8th, settling for a run and trailing 3-1. There's a double switch. We'll tell you about it in a moment. MLB.com at Bat 2010 for your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android. It puts live baseball at your fingertips, real-time play-by-play, real-time box scores and video. You can listen to every game live and watch games live on your iPhone and iPod Touch. Visit Nationals.com and make all of those smartphones even smarter. Justin Maxwell on the double switch will play right field and bat ninth. He'll be up third in the bottom of the ninth. And the new pitcher in a hold'em is Sean Burnett to face Bonifacio, Morrison, and Ramirez. Well, some developing things in the National League tonight. Phillies now lead 8-3 at New York. St. Louis just gave up 6 to the Braves in the 6th and trail 8-4 with the Reds winning their game at home by 2. Later tonight, the Giants and the Padres in a bona fide September Western Division showdown with the Giants 1 game out. Sanchez and Richard on the mound for those two tough ball clubs tonight. Bonifacio 2 for 4 with a stolen base and a run scored. Kind of a weak bunt attempt on a pitch up.
He doesn't bunt with a team up 3-0 with a runner on first, but he doesn't mind leading off with the bunt.
Drew Storn for the Nats.
Which is not a bad deal, but he bunts so much anyway. Well, nice pitch.
Logan Morrison. They call him Lomo now. You know, when you're a rookie hitting 300, you get a nickname pretty quick. I think they ought to call him Shiner. Took that foul ball right in the eye, tough enough to come right back and play.
I've always called you Bokar.
You have? Does that make you Rainai? Look out! Oh. That's a very tough play. Maxwell, it's a foul ball. And Justin and all these outfielders know once you get over that line, there's maybe about 6 feet of room, if that, between the chalk and the barrier.
I just love the effort. I just love the effort, man. Effort and the guts. These guys are all playing this way. He got to that ball. Just too much stuff in there. Just too many things coming at you at one time. He got to that ball.
Bracing himself for the collision. Sit around for 2.5 hours, and you get in the game, and the wall finds you.
I mean, you're looking at a team that is 20 games under 500.
Playing hard.
Yeah.
Good pick by Adam Dunn.
I talked to Adam a little bit about playing deeper with the runners on second base, and you know, when they're critical runs and there's a left-handed bat or a right-handed bat in a knockdown situation, what I always call the 4 position, which is all the way back. And he's just a little leery of not having first base responsibility and a ball hit short or third. And I told him that, hey, all you have to do is you've got to run 35 feet max. The batter has to run 90 feet. And I said, during the inning, start playing back deeper to just see that you have plenty of time to get there. Because he wants to be there for his third baseman and shortstop and not be moving. Heck, Keith Hernandez played off first base so far that I would catch balls, and sometimes I felt like Joe Namath trying to lead him over there. But he can get there, and he's playing back. That's good. It's nice when I'm not a coach. I'm just a friend. I was just telling him that, and I'm certainly the coaches do too. But
I just can't believe a guy from Georgia invoked an Alabama player's name right there.
Oh, yeah.
2-1. Up the middle. And right between the wickets. Logan Morrison with his first base hit in 5 trips.
Bob, I'll throw out the great names now. This kid, they love him. Fastball up, gets on top of it, something that you really work at doing, whether you're a right-hander or a left-handed hitter. And that's a part of that Charlie Lau deal where you make sure that right elbow is down. You never get the left hand working too much to smother the ball.
So Drew Storn will come in as Hanley Ramirez is hitting. Nats need to keep it within 2. A young fireballer, Drew Storen. This will be his 46th appearance. Came up about 6 weeks into the season. He's been very busy. 3 saves, 47 innings, 40 strikeouts, and 19 walks. And the league hitting .240 against him. Even without Steven Strasburg, it looks like a very good crop this year.
Hey, gosh, you're looking to bring up 1 or 2 guys that may make a difference, that are big league ready. You know Ian is, you know Bernardini is, you know Storen is. That's 3. The last 2 names on that list can very well be a big part of this ball club next year. Plus somebody else that might show up in spring training.
Yeah, we keep hearing about that Lombardozzi kid down there.
You're so crazy about Lombardozzi. Says he's very similar to the type of player that Espinosa is. Kid hit .300 with a whole lot of doubles, stolen bases, playing second base. Marrero had a good year this year. A long-time highly touted power hitter, and he swinging the bat, probably had his best year this year in Double-A. Will play Triple-A, I imagine, next year, and I mean, you can see him in the big leagues in the next year or 2. I get a feeling that he'll get that shot if he stays healthy. And that Tyler Moore kid, gosh, he just exploded in the second half of the season. 40-something doubles, 29 home runs, 75 extra base hits, 100-plus RBIs. Burgess, Triple-A, hit the ball extremely well. Haven't really talked much about Derek Norris. He was hurt. Big year last year, but you know he can hit.
0-2, and Hanley Ramirez is down. Doesn't like the call of James Hoy.
Well, he needs to look at it on TV then, because that is a tight breaking ball. You're going to see the breaking ball up. It comes right back with a fastball, and then just a hook. It's going to be right on the corner. You got to call that a strike. You got to swing the bat and protect it. You know, especially breaking balls. 0-2. Guy that has a great slider, you better be protected out there. That was just about a perfect pitch, and he has the tightest breaking ball in our ball club. That's the true slider type that has both depth and sideways break.
Here's Zugla. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI and a walk.
And when a hitter argues that vehemently about a pitch that's that close, you can bet that he's looking in, because his head leaves the ball, your eyes leave the ball a little bit, and you just see the side of the ball, and it makes that ball look like it's outside, just like that. Yeah. And I can see Ugla belling. He bells all the time anyway. He's not a good away hitter. He's not. He's a very good middle-in hitter, very good fastball hitter, but look at him spin those hips right there and then catch himself. The ball, maybe a half a ball off the plate, but he's already established it as a strike, and it'll be a strike the rest of the evening.
Might as well stay with it.
No, he's going to call it. I promise you, he's going to call it now. And, you know, you're seeing it, and you're only talking about it. If that ball is away, I know the first one was reflecting on the line, so it had to just barely nick the edge of the plate. The second one was probably a couple of inches outside. But like 0-2 here, you better expand 5 inches outside. That's why it's so vulnerable inside generally.
0-2 had him reaching. That ball near the line. It's a fair ball. Maxwell has to be mistake-free in the corner. Here comes the runner. The throw is there. He's out. What a great tumble by Pudge Rodriguez.
What a great throw by Benny Espinosa.
And a good gamble by Joe Espada, the third base coach, to send Logan Morrison with 2 outs. Perfect relay. Great play by the catcher. That's why he's going to Cooperstown.
That's extra postgame coming up when this thing is over, but the Nationals now down to their last 3 outs here in the bottom of the ninth, Phil, and maybe they can get something going to pull this thing out.
Well, the 3 outs left. It's frequently the teams that hits together sometimes slumps together. That's been the case the last few days. But there's 3 outs left. Let's just wait and see.
And the hitting shoe's not on tonight, but boy, that was some play in the top of the ninth, Bob, and Ray to nail that runner at the plate. A great relay and a great tag, as you mentioned, Bob. Future Hall of Famer and Pudge Rodriguez.
You are right, Johnny. He's like a first baseman there with a first baseman's mitt on a play like that. Cat quick. Couple of quick throws, and even if the ball's a little bit up the line, Pudge can make it happen.
Well, he went to a breaking ball one time too many without throwing the ball in, but good hustle by Maxwell, and makes a perfect throw here. Just right there at the top of the deal. But watch how Espinosa's already set up with his body angled toward home plate. And all Pudge has to do is catch it and dive, and he does that, and he's done it hundreds of times. Great job. Puts it right there on his shoulder. But you won't see a better relay than that there. And
you know what he did really well at the end of the play?
Tell me, brother.
Kept his hand in the glove. The runner could have taken that mitt right off of his hand, as the catcher's mitt appeared to be caught almost in the underarm of the runner. That was really something. Great Exmo action, guys. All right, here's Pudge. Bottom of the ninth. Nats are 2 down, and that's a ground ball to short for Ramirez. Clay Hensley, 2 consecutive outs after the struggles of Leo Nunez. He's looking for the save. And for Hensley, I'm going to double check this. He is after his first save of the year and his first career save. Niger, and then Kennedy, who will be hitting for Maxwell, who came in on a double switch. Morgan with a base hit and a walk. He's 1 for 2. Morgan takes a breaking ball low and inside. (3-1) Marlins. On a play left side, counts even 2-2. Sleep fast, we will. Jason Marquis, Anibal Sanchez. 105 first pitch tomorrow. Morgan on a changeup. Look at the fight by Helms. Close but out at first. Wes Helms was going to do anything he could to keep his body behind that ball. Adam Kennedy, the final hope of the Nationals.
That's why he's been in the big leagues for so long, Bob. He does those little things well. Battles, scraps, elbows, knees. It doesn't make any difference. He's always been that kind of player. A little short on great talent, but huge heart and very intelligent baseball player.
Kennedy for Maxwell now. And the Marlins trying to beat the Nationals for the 11th time in 16 games this year. I'm a little surprised that Hensley's never had a big league save, but of course all those years in San Diego that he was such a good setup man. Trevor Hoffman was getting those saves. But it takes guys like this to get the ball to those. Maybe tonight's his time. Kennedy to Uggla, and he will get his first major league save. At exactly the strike of 10 p.m., the Marlins beat the Nationals 3-1. And the Nats have scored 4 runs in their last 28 innings. For Ray Knight and Debbie Taylor, Bob Carpenter, the Marlins win it 3-1. Tune in Saturday, Masson HD. Game 2 will start you at 12:30, first pitch 1:05. This has been a presentation of Masson. Stay tuned now, Nats Extra, Johnny and Phil here at the ballpark and from the booth. So long for just a while.